Ready? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Mha Board. We'd like to welcome Mental Health in America of Dutchess County, MHA. We'd like to thank you for supporting mental health of Dutchess County, a great community organization helping those in need. Addiction services and mental health working together. I know it's pain and hurt just to think you have the time to spend and living with me. And if we go someplace else, I know that there's a chance you won't be leaving with me. But after that you stop at your quiet little place and have a drink or two. And now I'll go and put it on by saying something stupid like I love you. I can see it in your eyes that you just have to say more lines you heard the night before. So it's just a lie to you for minutes you will never say so right before. I practice every day to find some clever line to say and make the meaning come true. And I think I'll wait until the end gets me and I'm alone with you. It's like you're perfect because my head was like a red and all the nights are blue. And then I go and turn it on by saying something stupid like I love you. Take it away, Johnny. I can see it in your eyes that you despise the same old lines you heard the night before. And though it's just a lie to you for me that you would never see tonight before. I practice every day to find some kind of line to say to make the meaning come true. And then I think I'll wait until the evening gets late and I'm alone with you. I just like your perfume, cause my head is like a burn and all the nights are burning. I'm heavy. And then I go and spoil it all by saying something stupid like I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. You tries to get me to mess up on that one. All the time. So we have lots of fun down here at Mha Board every single Thursday. But once again, we'd like to welcome Mental Health of America right here in Dutchess County. The little lady next to me is my daughter, Kirsten Lee, and she doesn't want to take my name because she wants to have her own career. And what does she do? She takes my gig. This Lotus regret she's unable to love today. Madam, this Lotus regret she's unable to love today. And she's sorry to be detained, but just not seen that lovers lay she's straight. Madam, this Lotus regret she's unable to lunch today. When she woke up and found that her dream of love was gone. Madam, she ran to the man who had led her so far astray. And from underneath the velvet gown, she pulled the gun and shot her lover down. Madam, this Lotus regret she's unable to lunch today. her and grabbed her from the jail. Now they thrown her up on a willow across the way. And the moment right before she died, she lifted up her lovely head and cried. Madam, before his regret, she's unable to love. Without his regret, she's unable to love today. Guys.
I had the honor and privilege of working at Partial Hospital for many, many years, and it was probably the most rewarding thing I have ever done in my life. I was part of Mental Health of America, and they are a wonderful organization, and I can tell you right now, out of all the music I've played over my lifetime, it's nothing like helping somebody who's feeling a little down. I would trade all the songs and all the music just to help one person, just one, and it was that rewarding. I enjoyed it.
Who wouldn't love you? Who wouldn't try? You're so enchanting, people must say. You're the dream that dreamers wanna dream about. All the breath, spring the lovers, got about them, not about. Who wouldn't love you? Who wouldn't buy? The west side of heaven, if you blink your eye. You're the answer to the every prayer, darling. Who wouldn't love you? Who wouldn't care? Who wouldn't
love you? Who wouldn't care? You're so enchanting, people must say. You're the kind of dream that dreamers dream about. You're the breath of spring and got about my bow. Who wouldn't love you? Who wouldn't mind the west side of heaven when you wake your eyes?
I'm waking.
You're the only dream that I can dream. Oh, who wouldn't love you? Who wouldn't care? Go get it, honey.
Who wouldn't love you? Who wouldn't care? You're so enchanting, people must say. You're the dream that dreamers wanna dream about. You're the breath of spring the lovers get about, they're not about.
Who wouldn't love you? Who wouldn't mind the west side of heaven with the wings of your eyes?
I'm waking.
Would you like to dream? Who wouldn't love you? Who wouldn't care? One more time. Who wouldn't love you? Who wouldn't care? You're so enchanting, people must stare.
You're the dream that dreamers wanna dream about. You're the breath of spring the lovers get about, they're not about.
Who wouldn't love you? Who wouldn't buy the west side of heaven if you just wink that eye? You're everything I care. Who wouldn't love you? Who wouldn't care?
All right, everybody, that was fantastic. Thank you for viewing us tonight. It should be a good night. We're going to make it move along nice, and we're going to educate people about our agency and give out some well-deserved awards. And so let's just get started. So I wanted to fill you in that we have an auction going on. If you have not yet logged into the auction, you can do so by going to the website. And right on the front of the website, there's a button for the auction. You click that, and you'll get right into the auction, and you can check out the items we have going on tonight. We'll go over some of those later. It's pretty good. I want to thank the board of directors right now, and let everybody know that we have a great group of board of directors who are there at these meetings, listening to how we're doing, giving guidance, and kind of my back in all of this, and I'm very grateful for them. Our president is Andrew Oliver, and you'll hear from him in a few minutes. Our vice president is Mike Hawkins, secretary Julie Gutierrez, treasurer David Curry. Members are Paul Ackerman, Brian Bunch, David Brinkerhoff, Michael Carber, Tiffany Fitzgerald, Evelyn Garzetta, Jane Griesmer, Bill Hogan, Melinda Hitchcock, Jacqueline Klein, and Sherry Scheroler. Really happy that they're on this board and guiding me in all that we do, and we do a lot here at the agency, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. I want to mention the honorary committee for this event. Ken Levinson, Dr. Sunil Khurana from Premier Medical Group, Senator Sue Serino, Chip Simon from Taconic Advisors, Inc., James Constantino, Tehan and Constantino, LLP. We have 3 levels of sponsorships below that. It's Changing the Lives sponsorship, Marsh and McClanahan Agency. Light the Way sponsorship, Kelly and Minoa and Nixon Peabody. And Caring Hearts sponsorship, Nuvance Health, RBT Associates, Rhinebeck Bank, and S&E Building Maintenance. We're really grateful to all of them. We've already done really well in the sponsorships and the money we're raising, and we're hoping to raise more during this auction. Most importantly, we want you to hear about this agency and what we're doing, and hear about some great people associated with the agency and the things that they're doing. So let me just talk a few minutes about the state of MHA. We continue to grow our programs. We have a number of programs that are currently expanding, growing as the need is there. And, you know, we're struggling like everybody else with hiring staff. There's not a great amount of workforce out there, and we're all struggling with that. But we are growing these programs. We have HCBS services for adults and children, peer services, which we started in the last year and a half. We brought in Jim Ball, who is now onboarding certified peers, both in the addiction world and the mental health world, which is really a great service for us to have. Children's Health Home is growing. Adult Health Home is growing always. CASA services, Veteran Services continues to grow. And our addiction services supported housing may be able to take on more beds very soon, hopefully another 24 beds. MHA, as we might have talked about last year, applied for an ESHE grant with a project that's in the city of Poughkeepsie, the Wallace Campus Project. That's taking some time, going through the whole process of getting the community to agree upon such a massive project. It is a very massive project. It's going to be 220 units of housing right in the middle of downtown Poughkeepsie. We received, I think, 35 supported housing beds that are going to be in that affordable housing complex. It's really, when I say affordable housing, I think of my children. So I think the city of Poughkeepsie needs to understand that this is not, you know, a bunch of Section 8. This is people who are working, making $70,000 a year and less, and they can have this really nice apartment in the city of Poughkeepsie. And I'm hoping that the city gets around it. It's going to be a huge benefit to the city. But if that happens, which I believe it will, we'll have 34 supported housing beds in that new program, and we'll have staff that are there based in the program, making sure that everything's going well for our clients. We have some new programs since this last gala. Mobile crisis intervention was given to us by the county to manage, and we've been doing that since November of last year. It's a great program. We have 24 staff members working in that program, and we've responded to over 1,000 calls to date, doing really well, making great connections with the local police departments. That's really important, because ultimately what we want to do is make a partnership with every police department so that when we go out, we have somebody that can make sure we're safe, but then they can move on. If it's deemed safe and we all feel comfortable, they can move on to other business, and we take care of it, as opposed to the police handling all these mental health issues alone. So we're happy to have that. We also have a new program it's a police behavioral health specialist program that we are running through the City of Poughkeepsie Police and the City of Beacon Police. We have our own MHA behavioral health specialists, care managers, embedded into those police departments. They were both accepted by both these great police departments. They welcome them with open arms. Some of the officers said they were a little leery, I got to be honest, but it took them all of about 5 minutes to realize that these are great guys, and what they bring to those cities is fantastic. And you're going to hear a little bit about that in a video toward the end of this program. Our merger with Mark, which seems like it's been going on for 10 years, is about a 3.5-year process, finally happened. We finally have our certificate of merger as of September 20th, this week, Monday. That's all done. Some people wonder how mergers happen. Many times mergers happen where the actual merger, the certificate of merger happens fairly quickly, and then all the work to try to bring two entities together happens on the other end. We didn't do that. We brought everything together first. It took us a long time. The only thing left to do is put up signs and change some signs, but nothing will change in the services that were provided by Mark. Mid-Hudson Addiction Recovery Services does not exist any longer as a 501c3. All those services are now MHA services. So what that did for us is that we now have 240 employees. We have about a $15 million budget each year. We're growing. I'm really proud of all the staff at MHA. It's been a very difficult time since the start of COVID, especially homeless services and community residences at the Mark Agency were very difficult to manage during the pandemic. None of those programs allowed for staff to work from home at all or distance themselves at all. They all had to be on site. In the homeless shelter, they were basically in a big room with 100 people during the time when nobody thought they could, touch anything. So, and many of our staff contracted COVID. Thankfully, we didn't have any bad outcomes, but it's been a dangerous job for a lot of people at MHA. And I'm proud to say that while we were one of the first to get things together and work remotely fairly quickly and allow everybody to have the ability to do that, we were also one of the first to get back out there and do what we needed to do on the ground, because that's really where the work happens, being with people face to face. And we've done that tremendously for probably the last 6 months. And before that, many of our programs were still doing it. Many of our staff are so dedicated that I'm sure they'll tell you that while we encourage them not to, they were out there doing what they needed to do. So we look the other way because, it's the right thing to do. So our video later will highlight just a few of those programs. I believe that collaboration with other entities is really important, especially other not-for-profits. In fact, here's an example. Just today, one of our staff members, Dinessa, came to me. She teaches in a school, religious education school with about 4 or 5 students, and she asked if that could be housed at our location here at 253 Mansion Street on Monday nights. And we have all this space. The program is open, so why not? This is what it's all about. We have this space. We have the ability to help other organizations, so we do that. Another example is the Artifact and Forge Media, which is a local not-for-profit that makes videos and makes movies, and they do a tremendous job, and you'll see that later. But they work with kids in high school and in college that want to learn how to make movies and use video, and they have them work with them to make videos. So we hired them for the video that we're doing at the end of this presentation, and then we're going to hire them to make a number of small 2-minute videos about each one of the programs. So to any staff members on, if they have not, if they don't see their part of the agency in the video, don't worry, you're gonna have your time in the sun, I promise. So what does all that mean? We're doing all these things. What does it really mean to our community? As I said before, it means we employ over 240 people. We're a large employer in Dutchess County. It means we better the lives of over 5,000 people a year. It means there are people sleeping in a bed tonight, not under a bridge, because of the MHA staff. It means that a family is together tonight because of MHA staff. It means that parents know how to be a better parent because of MHA staff. It means that someone has a resume and found a job because of MHA staff. It means that a veteran is alive and with his family and in treatment because of MHA staff. It means that a young child who has limited friends or role models is working with MHA staff and visualizing how life could be for them. It means that people have a place to come that will help get them the help they need. It means that a person with serious mental health issues with limited social contacts is now connected to a larger social circle at Beacon Pros and at Teen Challenge and Young Adult. The bottom line is it comes down to people knowing that they have someone in their corner. They have MHA in their corner, an advocate and a confidant. So with that, I want to turn it over to our board president, Andrew Oliver, who would like to say a few words.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to our annual Spotlight event. I've been involved with MHA for the past 6 years, and it's been a tremendous experience. What really sparked my interest in joining the board at MHA is that I have a brother who is diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. I, like many families, have struggled to combat the stigma associated with mental illness. So really, involving myself with MHA has been a dream come true in helping educate myself and educate others regarding mental illness. Your support today and going forward is vital to continue to further the programs, the assistance that MHA provides our surrounding areas. You are important. Your donation is important. We believe that your funds will continue to help us make a greater impact in our community. So I thank you in advance for your generosity, your kindness, and your support.
That's great. Thank you, Andrew. You know, events like this are real important to spotlight. That's why we call it Spotlight, our agency and what we do, but to also raise money. The money we raise in events like this is unrestricted money. And while we get grants that are attached to specific programs, that money is not, that money is restricted. We are lucky enough in this community to have the Dyson Foundation support MHA. They're a fantastic support of both the MARC agency and MHA, and they're going to continue to support us. I believe that they feel strongly that the work we do is valuable to the people of our community. So let's talk about this auction for a few minutes. You can go to our website, like I said, and you can click on the auction button and you can get in. You would have to put your credit card in because we want you to self-check out at the end. But there are some great items here. You know, we have Learn to Fly. That's pretty cool. You get in a plane and you go up and hopefully you come back down. That would be important. Slowly and like this. We have a Hudson Valley Mansions cruise. We have Big Apple Out and About. There's a lot of great stuff on here. A museum tour, hiking and biking. We have some great handmade crocheted throws, some artwork. That's really nice. People donated it. We have some handcrafted cards that were made by my mother-in-law. She's top notch. Does a great job. They wanted to, sell me, which is ridiculous. I told them to get rid of that. I didn't really want to do that, but you have a chance to play around the golf. That would be fun. All I can guarantee you is that I might play worse than you, and we'll have a good time. We'll have a good time. We'll have lunch as well. Over in Apple Greens. We have a Yankee game, which if you're a baseball fan, you have to know that the Yankees are on the threshold of making the playoffs or not making playoffs. This game is down on the lower level. They're about $100 a ticket right now. And if the Yankees are still in it on Saturday when they play, it essentially is a playoff game. So it could be a really great, energizing game at Yankee Stadium. We have Marist men's and women's basketball tickets, I believe. We have the Renaissance Festival. We have a lot of great stuff on here. It's almost too much to go through. Please check it out. Bid on some stuff. Private tour of Dyson Racing facility. That's pretty cool. We have a fig tree donated by the Mark Foundation board member, president, who sells them. Dan McRitchie donated 2 4-pack tickets to Laugh It Up Comedy Club. There's some dresses here that Noelle, our assistant, and my assistant here, has gotten a friend of hers to donate. These are vintage dresses right off the racks down in New York City. There's 6 of them. They're really beautiful, and they're probably $250 each. The dresses I buy for Saturday nights, you know, that's, oh, did I say that out loud? Sorry. I think they're probably great dresses. ZZ Top, Black Crows. Anyway, great stuff. I hope you check it out. I hope you bid. So get bid, get outbid, bid again, a lot of fun. All right, so tonight we want to talk about some awards. I see that a few of our staff members are on here that are going to talk about some people that they nominated. Since 1988, Cora Mallory Davis, who's on here today, past president of the board of directors, and the Mallory family, established a scholarship in honor of her late husband, Robert Mallory. This generosity has helped over 65 people currently who are taking care of their mental wellness and making great strides vocationally and educationally. So thank you, Mallory family. We really appreciate your support and allowing us to be the conduit to identifying people who, you know, could benefit from this. So now I want to introduce Monique Du Plessis, who will share why she nominated one of our winners. Monique is one of our health home care managers, and much like the other presenter who will go right after her, she has proven, they've both proven themselves to be rock stars. So we appreciate you, and we appreciate you nominating your people. So Monique, take it away.
Great. Well, thank you, Andrew. And thank you to the Mallory family for making this another resource for our clients. My client that received this award, her name is Shadayla Bryant. And I just want to say congratulations, Shadayla. You've worked really hard for this. Shadayla has had hardships like many others have during the pandemic, but she didn't allow it to falter her education. Shadayla is working on her HR management degree, and she hopes to be a positive role model for her daughter. She's learning essential skills, and she hopes to be a beacon of compassion and kindness in HR management. I believe Shadayla and her degree will be a great asset to the movement of reducing the stigma of mental wellness. And there's actually a client who also received this, but she's remaining anonymous. I just want to note that she also had difficulties during the pandemic. She lost her job. She was working on her degree. She was getting adjusted to online schooling for her children, which is not an easy thing. But her hard work's paid off. She has a new job. She's enrolled in the fall semester, and her kids are well into their first few weeks of school. She continues to work towards her goals, and we work together in case management to ensure that her goals are being met and that her financial, housing, and wellness goals are intact. And I think that this anonymous recipient will be a great asset to our community once she receives her degree. Excellent. So thank you, Caroline. All yours.
Now, Caroline Guthrie, the other rock star in case management. Well, there's a whole crew of them. There's about 50 of them, but Caroline, you'll be highlighted in 1 second. I think. Right, John? There she is.
Thanks, Andrew. There's definitely a whole crew of rock stars in case management. Good evening, everyone. My name is Caroline, and I'm so happy to have this brief opportunity to recognize my client, Sparkle Kenner. Congratulations, Sparkle. She couldn't be with us tonight, but I decided to nominate Sparkle for the Mallory Scholarship because of her remarkable work she has put in to get to where she is today. From a seemingly endless battle with her mental health, followed by substance abuse and self-sabotaging behaviors, to living a mindful, fruitful, and sober life. Sparkle continues to utilize her mental wellness supports within our community and maintain a positive mindset. She is currently working diligently towards her long-term goal of receiving her bachelor's degree in human services, as well as her CASAC certification. She is such a genuine and warm-hearted person, and I am so proud of all she has accomplished and will continue to accomplish. Although she was unable to come tonight, Sparkle wanted me to thank MHA and the Mallory family for supporting her and continuing to motivate her to be the best version of herself that there has yet to be. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. That was fantastic. All right, so now we're going to move to the Advocate of the Year Award. And my experience at MHA, I've been with MHA 22 years, and one constant is Glenn Liebman. He's been there every step of the way. He's been there when I was a new MHA person trying to figure out what lobbying was and going up to Albany, and there was Glenn rounding up the troops and getting everybody going. He is nonstop. He is a tireless advocate. And Glenn, Glenn is a great guy. I love hanging out and talking to him. He's got a long history of really interesting stuff. He was a sports writer, which is pretty cool stuff. He's written some books. He's been instrumental in the implementation of several important initiatives, including mental health parity, Timothy's Law. These things don't just happen overnight. Glenn doesn't just walk in and say, hey, we need this because it makes sense, because it always does make sense, and then it happens. It is constant. He is up in the Capitol all the time, doing his thing, calling people, talking to them, rounding up all the people from MHA to go to Albany and stand behind things. Mental health education in school. New York being the first in the nation that it was mandated. That's happening through health classes. That's because of Glenn. Glenn did that, and Glenn rounded us all up there and made sure that happened. Enhancement of community-based mental health services, mental health public awareness, criminal justice reform, workforce, many other public policy reforms. You name it, Glenn had his hand in it for sure. He's a member of the New York State Justice Center Advisory Committee, New York State Geriatric Mental Health Council, and was a member of the governor's Medicaid redesign team on social determinants of health. He currently serves as chair for the New York State's Behavioral Health Advisory Council. We at MHA, so you know how this works, there's a national organization, and then each state has a statewide organization. The staffing for the national organization, the statewide organization, is fairly small. It's a core group of great advocates who are lobby, who try to help write legislation and move the needle, so that the work that we all do in the communities is working, and it is a constant struggle. It's because of Glenn and people like Glenn that we can all try to get to where we need to be. And there are some problems. I mean, we have a lot of gaps in service, and everything is not hunky-dory. Anybody that tried to access mental health care knows it isn't. But this guy, Glenn, he works tirelessly to make sure that we're all educated, that we all know through emails what's going on, and he's on the ground in Albany, working for all of us. So I am proud to say that this year, Glenn Liebman is the Advocate of the Year, and I'm just going to throw this at the screen. It should pop out right next to you. No, we didn't go that far. So I want to introduce Glenn Liebman, and thank you, Glenn.
Thank you very much, Andrew. I'm a Met fan, so I'd probably drop it. Well, I want to thank you and thank the MHA and Duchess for the award. It means a great deal to me, especially coming from an organization as respected as yours. We're very lucky at MHAs throughout the state to have such a wealth of talent and compassionate people working on the front lines of the mental health system. There are a few that are more skilled and valued as the MHA and Duchess. You have a long history of great work in the community as well as in the state. The influence of MHA and Duchess has been part of the legacy of the state MHA for members for many years. We had board members like Harriet Fine, Mary Lou Heisenbuttel, and my friend and longtime director of MHA, Jackie Brownstein. But for the last decade, Andrew O'Grady has been the director of the MHA and Duchess. I joke with him, but to say he's done an incredible job is an understatement. The expansion, as he just talked about for the last 15 minutes, it's incredible the work that's being done. And the way you laid it out, Andrew, talking about how you impact people every day in every way, it's just incredible. It's every facet of life, from care management to crisis services to housing and to addiction services. Congratulations this week. That's quite a thing to have fully have that merger in place. That's wonderful. Andrew's a man of integrity, intelligence, and mission. His sense of humor belies a man who is always out there trying to improve the lives of people we serve. through innovation and advocacy. Angie's been the chair of the Care Management Coalition for many years. He doesn't get paid a penny for it. He just does it because it's the right thing to do. It's an honor to consider him a friend and colleague. My remarks tonight will be brief, even though Andrew urged me to talk for about 3 hours about the Medicaid waiver, right? He wanted me to do that. I know it's a strategy. Figure while I was talking about the waiver, people would go over and view the silent auction. It's a good strategy. Joking aside, my brief comments tonight are about the workforce. We have the most dedicated and passionate workforce that people could ask for, spending every day doing whatever they can to improve the lives of people with mental health issues. Challenges abound everywhere. Complex individuals, lack of services for programming, negative perceptions. Yes, that stigma still sadly exists. Huge caseloads. And for the last 18 months, an insidious epidemic that refuses to end. And of course, in many ways, the most important thing, the lack of funding. Most people enter our field because they are mission-driven and want to change lives. They also do it because they may be themselves peers, family members, or just someone who cares deeply about people with mental health issues. Here's the thing that those in power don't seem to understand. And Andrew is right. We spend a lot of time in the halls of the Capitals when they were open, and now they're open again. But people in power don't seem to know or recognize mission and compassion don't pay the bills. Last I heard, you can't go to the grocery store and get the mission compassion discount. It doesn't work that way. All of us on this screen are advocates, and we must do everything in our power to let the new governor know that we are in need of a fair and livable wage. This year's cost of living adjustment is based on the Consumer Price Index. Well, unlike last year when the CPI was 1%, this year it's 5.4%. We are going to need every one of you to work with us to advocate with Governor Hochul to tell her to include that funding in the budget. And I'll get into that in the next few weeks. You'll certainly see more about that. Now, I could literally talk for 4 hours about advocacy, but I will leave it about what should be our number one priority right now, which is workforce. Now, I want to end by talking about hope and resiliency, something that people in our field and the MHA have in droves. Several years ago, my only child became addicted to drugs. Throughout that time, my wonderful wife, Kathy, who is listening to this presentation, and I expected every night to hear from law enforcement about an arrest or far worse, an overdose death. Well, our son 2 days ago celebrated his 4-year clean date. And not only that, he is working as a CASAC in an inpatient program, helping those overcoming their addiction disorders. How did this happen? Well, there's a lot of reasons, of course, led by his own resiliency. But a prime reason for his success today is the incredible workforce he was with every day in programs, medication management, care management, clinical meetings, support groups, you name it. That support staff was there for him. We believe our son is a miracle, but there are thousands of other miracles happening every day, and you on the screen are responsible for those stories. Your work is what keeps our dreams and hopes alive. What we can do in return is fight with every breath to get funding for the workforce. It's the least we can do. And I thank you very much for this wonderful award. Thank you, Andrew. It's a pleasure becoming friends with you over the last 15 years. It's great. Thank you. Well, thanks. Keep up the great work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
I appreciate it. Great job, Glenn. And really keep up the great work. And we look forward to those emails. And I can promise you that we'll share them wide here at MHA and Dutchess and try to get as much support around it as possible. If you don't know and you haven't put it together and you work here, Glenn is the guy that sends the emails out saying, please call your legislator, call them, tell them this, tell them that, tell them this. It's really important that those things happen. So when he sends an email, listen, it's important.
Thank you. That matters. I've got to tell you, I mean,
yeah,
you know,
it does matter.
Those phone calls, those emails, those letters, they all count. They all count.
Yep.
So thank you.
Thank you. So I want to turn it over now to Anthony Kavoris. Anthony Kavoris is the director of our Veteran Services for MHA, and he's going to present the Spirit of Recovery Award. His team at MHA will do anything and everything to ensure everyone safe and thriving. So thank you to Anthony and your team. And Anthony, tell us about your Spirit of Recovery Award winner.
Sure. So I met Mitchell quite a few years ago. He is one of those veterans that we just could not wait to help. He was kind of a bad boy in his youth, and you know, he got into some trouble and stuff like that. Now he's completely sober. We have him in he went from a transitional housing to this beautiful apartment in Poughkeepsie. We're just so proud of him. But the special thing about Mitchell is he remembers everybody who helped him along the way and actually wants to thank them for what happened to him. He is the kind of guy who still right now tries to help everybody he can along the way. I don't think anybody could deserve this award more than him. I'm so proud of him. This is the award, if you can see it. I know it's a little tiny, it's beautiful. And Amy, what can I say about him? Wait till you meet this guy. Everybody's gonna love him. He's just a beautiful person inside and out. That's it.
Thank you. Let's hear from Mitch.
All right, my name is Mitchell. I won this award. I'm very happy to be getting it. And I owe a lot of people a lot of thanks for it. I really want to thank a friend of mine, Jerry Weldon, back in Young Township in Trenton. But I remember the words that he's given me for many years. So if you see this sometime, Jerry, thank you very much, man. As far as this award goes, I've come a long way. I've done a lot to get where I'm at. I've overcome drugs and alcohol. And this program's done a lot for me. It's got me where I'm at. It's given me a lot of help. And I met a nice young lady over here. Her name is Andrea. Andrea, you want to smile for the camera? Give a smile for her? That's my baby. And she's part of my life, and I'm doing very well now. People in have helped me immensely. I owe a lot of thanks to Kim Cipriano at Liberty Station, Mr. Reed, Ed Reed, all the staff. They've done a lot for me at Liberty Station. And I'm happy to be here, and I'm very proud to be getting this award.
It's fantastic. He looks like a lot of fun, Anthony. Anthony's muted.
1 second. Sorry, got muted. So yeah, so like I said, he started, when I was telling him about this award, he started thanking everybody from like as far back as he could remember that ever helped him. I mean, that's the kind of guy he is, you know. Very grateful for everything we've ever done for him, and just a pleasure to work with him.
Thank you, Anthony.
So, thank you for giving me this opportunity to give it to him, because I love being able to help someone like him and give him an award.
Well, these kind of things go a long way. It's really great. Thank you.
Thank you.
So our county executive in Dutchess County has a few words for us. I have to say, before I turn it over to him, that Mark Molinaro has really been a fierce advocate for those with disabilities. And it's not just talk, he stands behind it. Money's moved toward it. I do miss the days when he would come to our live events. He's always entertaining, and I'm sure we all miss the fun times we had eating and dancing, but I'm glad that he always makes time for MHA no matter what, whether in person or virtual. So Marcus, take it away.
Good evening. Welcome to Mental Health America of Dutchess County's Spotlight on Mental Health virtual gala. Now, I know that it would be best and better if we could all be together. I know I wanted to dance with Andrew O'Grady, and you do too. But tonight we're here together virtually to celebrate and recognize the amazing work of MHA in our community. Dutchess County has been proud to partner with Mental Health America in a number of ways to meet people where they are and ensure that those with mental wellness concerns, those living with substance use disorder, have the support and the resources and the tools they need on their road to recovery and greater independence. In particular, our mobile intervention team in Poughkeepsie and Beacon, and really throughout Dutchess County, has been a phenomenal partnership that helps us respond effectively, partnering with law enforcement to address incidents of trauma and crisis all throughout Dutchess County. These compassionate and passionate partners in this effort has helped Dutchess County to craft and create really the most significant network of mental health resources and tools of any county in America, and MHA is a brilliant part of that partnership. On behalf of the nearly 300,000 people who call Dutchess County home, we join in honoring and congratulating Glenn Liebman, Thank you for your years of compassionate care all across the state of New York. And to Mitchell Schweikert, thank you for your service and sacrifice. We stand with you and celebrate your own personal success. We know how valuable it is to recognize those who have been engaged in the trenches on the ground and in our neighborhoods providing support, and to celebrate those who are examples of both recovery and resilience. We also know that by partnering with MHA and all of you, we can improve the quality of life and the lives of the people who call Dutchess County home.
That's fantastic. Great. Last year we highlighted a film that Tyler Mendelsohn did. Tyler is another person that works with Anthony in our Veteran Services Department. He's a former service member who has three main passions. And Anthony, I want you to tell him that I said this because it's his birthday and he's out. But his three main passions are, I found out, one is Comic-Con. That's very exciting. I think he dresses up and has a good time. That's awesome. The other is making movies. And the last, which I'm very grateful for, is helping other veterans. And he's fantastic at that. We're lucky to have him. And this year we wanted to highlight another one of his films. It's an award-winning short film that truly highlights the enormous stress our young people overseas have to face. And he saw this and he put something together and submitted it, and he'll tell you all about what happened after that. I'm here with Tyler Mendelsohn, our MHA employee with the Veteran Services Programs. And last year he was highlighted in our event because he directed a movie which we all watched, and it was pretty stunning, actually. This year, between now and then, Tyler submitted a movie in a contest, and it's a short movie, and we're going to show it. But Tyler, why don't you tell everybody what that was all about?
Yeah. So it's called A Marine Corps Story, and it's a 3-minute short film about, it's just a little testimonial, if you will, for just one little moment of my time in Afghanistan, and just how that has sort of like impacted me and my experience with life going forward. And I ended up winning the contest, the film festival, and just happy for you to see it now.
Yeah, it really struck me that you really highlight the age that you were. I can't even imagine the training, but it certainly can't ready you for what you had to deal with right away, and the decisions you had to make, and the toll it takes on you as a person. It's pretty incredible, and you deserve to win. So why don't we take a look at that?
When I was 18, I became a United States Marine. I decided on 9/11 that I wanted to serve. I was about to turn 9 years old. When I was 19, I deployed to Afghanistan. I was excited to go. I stepped off of the flight line listening to Creedence Clearwater Revival as if I was in some pseudo-Vietnam War movie fantasy. My second week in country, an MRAP truck was dropped off in front of the armory where I worked. It was hit by a large improvised explosive device. Everyone inside the truck had died in the explosion. A few of us were curious and took a look inside. Though the bodies were removed, charred skin remains of those unfortunate few were still stuck to the seats in a rough outline of where they sat in their final moments. Frozen poses. I was horrified. It was my wake-up call to reality that is war. A few months later, I was a 50 cal machine gunner on a truck convoy, protecting assets my battalion delivered to the infantry. As a gunner, I provided the protection for the nearby trucks in front and behind me. At one point, the truck in front of me had trouble with one of their tires and had to switch it out. So my truck pulled to its left to provide security during repairs. As the Marines of that truck switched the tire, a buddy of mine provided security with his rifle and waved civilian cars to go off of the dirt road around the convoy. A white truck ignored our warnings and flew towards my friend in that truck. I swung my 50 cal round and aimed it at the driver's face. The rules of engagement were very strict at this time. If if you make an error, it could land you in Leavenworth military prison. I decided to wait as long as I could before I acted. I didn't want to see my friend or the others harmed in case this guy was a suicide bomber. Just as he was about to reach my friend, the Afghani slammed on his brakes. In what felt like an eternity, the man stared at nothing but me, aiming my .50 cal at his face. I kept saying, "Do it, motherfucker. Move another foot. I dare you." Eventually, he put his car in reverse, then went around us. As he slowly drove by, he continued his death stare. To this day, I don't know his true intentions. Whose lives did I save? Whose did I damn? I still wonder if he planned on killing my friends. I still see his eyes staring. I don't like people staring anymore. I think of this man who might have had second thoughts, and if he did decide to be braver the next time on some more unfortunate Marines. I will never know if I made the right decision to spare his life that day when I was 19 years old, but that decision has kept me thinking about it and this man since.
This is the kind of stuff that really, this is why I'm really happy that we have veteran services. And it's just luck of the draw that we have. It's really not the program that we have, it's the people working in the program that make it so incredible. There are other programs, and I have to say that, you know, there are other programs with the same funding, and I have to say that, you know, from what I hear, and I'm not diminishing any other program, but our guys really, they'll answer the phone 24/7. They'll do whatever is needed. They'll go out in the middle of the night. They're just incredible people, and it's really, really, they're just great people. And I know Tyler, you know, he struggles, and he you know, you could see it in the movie that he made. He still struggles every day with this stuff. You know, that we send people over to do this stuff, and you know, and I've seen firsthand how we're not really taking care of them when they come back. And so what we're trying to do here, not only are we just providing the services to the veterans we have in our community and other communities, but we're providing social outlets for them, widening their world. But we're also lobbying. This year, Tyler and I, Tyler had an unfortunate experience where he went through a period of really bad depression, and he tried really hard to get. He's somebody that links people to VA services, and he couldn't get in. It took him like a month, and then they finally let him sit in a room, and he had to talk to somebody on a computer screen. It made him outraged, and because of that, and it kind of tied to my trip to Washington this year, we were able to make appointments with Senator Gillibrand's office, Senator Schumer's office. We talked to, I forgot their names, but the head of the Armed Services Committee. They really need to wake up and see that they need to do a better job. And, you know, we're doing the best we can. Like Glenn, like you lobby, we're trying to lobby. We're trying to get them, that they need to take care of our veterans when they come back here. But, you know, we're doing our small part. we can all control our own little world. And that's part of the reason I wanted to do this merger with Mark, because, you know, these silos that we all deal with, you know, you walk in a door and, oh, well, you were diagnosed bipolar one day. Yeah, but I'm drinking like, you know, an 18 pack a day. Well, but you better go over there where you get your bipolar taken care of and not deal with this. Or, you know, you walk in the door and you have, you know, PTSD and you want treatment. Oh, but you're using marijuana to go to sleep. You better go over there to where your substance abuse treatment is and get that under control. Then you come over here. These are the barriers that we all deal with in this field. And so, you know, we can only control our own little world. And that's why I wanted to do this merger. Now we're an MHA with addiction services and mental health services. And now our people in the MARC programs that are in longer term recovery, they can be assigned a care manager if they qualify, a mental health care manager. We can, you know, bring more supports around to everybody. And it just enhances things and makes things better. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to demonstrate that, you know, breaking down these silos and barriers are what helps. And, you know, maybe we you know, drive some change around that. So I hope everybody's really, you know, enjoying this. I hope it's going fairly quickly, that you're not sitting here. You know, we looked at the thermometer before. We'd love to see that thermometer to go up. We have, you know, a goal, and there is, in our auction, there is a button that says donate, or you can go to our website and donate. But we want to get this thermometer to go up, and I don't think you can see it. I mean, it might be shining a little bit, but I want the thermometer to go up as high as the thermometer in this room, because we haven't had AC in this area for about 4 days because the AC unit died. So it's about, I don't know, 100 degrees in here. It's pretty hot. I'm sweating pretty good. So we want you to get in there and donate. So enjoy that. It's a lot of fun. So I want to now show a feature presentation that we did with our partner at the other not-for-profit that does the movies. And we are going to show that movie. They did a great job, Artifact and Forge Media. They did a really great job. We're going to highlight our programs. Again, for anybody watching that is part of any programs at this agency, if you don't see your program mentioned, we have about 25 programs here, so it's a little hard to get it all in. And we're going to make short videos of each program and get them up on our website. We're going to use the great people at Artifact and Forge Media to do that. But let's cut to this video, and you can see. Actually, before we start it, don't start it yet, John. I just want to say that the overall theme of this video. And I want you to think about this as you're listening. One of the reasons that growing an agency is so important is that, while it might be easy to access doors of, it should be easy to access doors of other programs, it's never as easy as accessing your own doors. So this highlights that we are growing and we have access to, different things. An example is the mobile crisis team goes out, but before they go out, they type in our computer and they see that Anthony from Veterans is working with this guy that they're about to go out on a call on. So they text Anthony and they say, hey, we're going out on a call. It's your guy. It gives Anthony the opportunity to go if he wants to be part of that. It's really fantastic, and it really helps in the things that we do. So let's show this video and keep that in mind. And we want to keep growing. So donate to MHA. MHA is a not-for-profit organization based in Dutchess County. We serve over 5,000 people per year, and we have over 240 dedicated professional staff working tirelessly every day in order to meet the needs of the people in this community. We are the safety net, and we keep people lifted up. Community-based care management is a one-on-one service where we will be in your corner and help you in any way we possibly can. That means getting you from point A to point B, making sure you can make appointments, and dealing with the high level of frustration that comes with trying to access services in the community.
Essentially, care managers, they go out in the community, they provide advocacy and support to individuals that have these various afflictions that are trying to sustain themselves and maintain while they're living in the community. Care managers often have a connection with various entities in the community, police departments, hospitals, clinics, because we're dealing with some very serious type situations with folks in crisis at times. But what I found out that, working for many years in this field, that again, when someone has their basic needs met, they're able to focus on their wellness. They're able to become more autonomous. And at the risk of sounding corny, I think it really boils down to, care managers and a lot of the different programs that we have here at MHA. We're essentially like a guardian angel that kind of guides the way in the path for helping people get to where they need to be in their life.
HCBS is a home community-based service. We provide 7 different services throughout the program. You have education, employment, psychosocial rehabilitation, pre-vocational, and our peer services.
Peer specialists are an incredible asset to any mental health agency, because who better to know what someone is going through than someone who actually has that mental health condition. I am so supported here, and I think it's keeping me in recovery. There's been a lot of stuff in my life that's been hectic, but I come here and I can use my skills and I can use it to help somebody else. And I think that's pretty neat.
About 5 years ago, MHA applied to provide vet-to-vet services, which is a new program offered in Dutchess County through the state. We hired 1.5 staff members because that's what the budget called for, and we were helping veterans throughout Dutchess County. Since then, we've expanded our veterans department, and now we have 5 war veterans that have experienced combat who are now working with all the veterans in Dutchess County in social situations, linking them to the benefits that they deserve and being a support to them in the community, them and their families.
As a Marine veteran myself, I really wanted to give back to the community, and especially this population that is struggling and looking for ways to make themselves and their lives easier. I really wanted to help people who at times feel like they can't help themselves and give them a helping hand.
To sum it all up, it's really hard because we do a lot and we work with a lot of other agencies, and if we can't find you the help, we can find the people who can help you. And I say that without trying to sound arrogant or anything. We're like there's no other organization like what we have here for veterans. If they really need to find something, a Dutchess County veteran, this is the place to come to get started.
Our community education department has provided support groups and resources for people trying to strengthen families and for people trying to learn how to better parent their children. One of the areas that we have within community education is the bipolar support group.
Since I've attended the bipolar depression support group, I've really made my way toward the goal of getting back to a position where I can live my life without feeling afraid, without feeling compromised in having a mental illness. There's no real getting away from the problems that a mental illness can bring to your life. But with the bipolar depression support group, I've been able to work slowly and consistently towards my goals. The most significant part in every way is just knowing that I'm not alone.
Our Beacon Pros program is a day treatment psychoeducational program that provides services Monday through Friday from 9 to 3 p.m.
It's a therapeutic day treatment program that serves adults in recovery from severe and persistent mental illness. Services are provided in both individual and in group format, and we offer psychoeducational groups that focus on wellness, self-management, basic living skills, disability education, intensive relapse prevention, and we also offer group therapy. The benefits of coming to the PROS program is for individuals who are home, possibly isolating, they just need some more support and to develop relationships with others. They get to come to program, learn skills while developing meaningful relationships with not only peers, but also staff.
About 3 years ago, MHA was approached by Mid-Hudson Addiction Recovery Centers, another not-for-profit in Dutchess County, and they wanted to know if we would merge our services. On September 20th of 2021, we will fully merge with Mid-Hudson Addiction Recovery Services. So now MHA has a full array of addiction supports where we didn't in the past. So the MARC agency, which will now be an MHA Addiction Services Department, provides a 24/7 detox center on Cannon Street in Poughkeepsie, and we have 3 halfway houses, one for men, one for women, and one for mixed use.
Well, I came here about a year ago, and I ended up coming here because after my grandmother passed, I suffered a relapse on my drug of choice, and that threw my life upside down, and I had to get it straightened back out. Coming to Bolger House definitely gave me the foundation I needed to get my life back in order.
Children's Health Home is a form of care management provided to children and their families in Dutchess County. MHA has a full Children's Health Home program, and we're happy to be working with over 100 families and children right now, trying to make sure that they're linked to the services they need to be linked to, that they have the support around school and obtaining any type of assistance they need in the school system, and supporting the parents on making sure that the children have a very positive upbringing.
It's just wonderful to see like when case management really works and you're able to sort of pull all of these different resources. Like we got him housing, we got him treatment, we got him vocational support. And success looks different for everyone. You know, some people a success is just getting out of bed in the morning, but when you see someone go from homeless and addicted to heroin to living independently, working full time, and just thriving, that's why I do this.
I oversee the Mobile Crisis Intervention Team. It's a team of clinicians and case managers that go out into the community and address mental health crises.
Mobile Crisis, this is Jessica.
It's usually out in the community, whether it be a person's home, their place of work, a public place. But the whole goal of Mobile Crisis is to divert from hospitalization, emergency rooms, jails. When they're escalated in a crisis, de-escalate, and hopefully maintain them safely in the community.
One of the benefits of being at MHA is that we have the flexibility and also the drive to always look at what we can potentially provide that isn't happening yet. So it's really beneficial that we have the ability to work with community providers, work with foundations, seek funding for outside of the box ideas. One of the examples of working outside the box is when we worked collaboratively with the City of Poughkeepsie and the City of Beacon Police Department in putting together this behavioral health specialist position within those departments.
My name is Lashavius Dicker, and my title is Behavioral Health Specialist. I'm here to help bridge the gap between the police and the community. The goal is to get somebody help and the services that they need at the time and for future.
It's not just him being there, it's the resources he can contact that we didn't have in the past. It was hard for us to get certain things rolling where he can get them done a lot faster than we can.
He takes a load off our shoulders instead of us keep on going and have the same mental health call, and then transport him to the hospital. He'll actually help out and get him a better situation and a better outcome than what only we can do, because we don't really know that much. It's not in our curriculum.
I get such positive feedback from Lieutenant, the Chief, and the guys, the patrol guys, all of them. It's amazing. We have the same clients, we deal with the same situations, we deal with the crisis out in the community.
Is there anything that we could do as far as with the case management? Can he link you up with anything? I mean, do you get your benefits? You're linked up with any substance, anything like that? We started this joint project. The City of Poughkeepsie Police came to MHA and said they wanted us to join efforts in trying to help this community. So the past year, we've been going out, community outreaching. I go out with officers on calls that have to do with mental health or individuals that are in mental health crises.
The best that we've had in the past is maybe a call, and hopefully somebody was available to come out. Now with Linwood and Mobile Crisis, any time of the day where we have a situation that is beyond the scope of what an average police officer can deal with, we call them, they come out immediately, and they solve problems that we couldn't solve before.
Unfortunately, a lot of the, we do have homeless individuals and people that find these vacant places, and they'll get in and they'll build their own encampments, and they have places to stay until somebody comes and asks them to leave. It's unfortunate, but they get it and they'll move on. And this is where we come in and try to help people get connected so we can get them out of this situation.
I think one of our I wouldn't say our greatest successes. We've had some really decent outcomes, but one of my personal ones was we had a gentleman living under the bridge on Main Street, and he had cancer. We actually helped him get medical treatment and housing, so that made us kind of happy.
She linked him up with MHA Case Management, and he's actually right behind us at that corner is one of our respite housing locations, and we actually have him in there. This doesn't happen just with myself with the officers. It's a community effort, and any agency that's out there, especially MHA, especially mobile crisis, especially our case management team, we work well, and we do what we have to do to make it happen.
Thank you again for attending this event, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. I thought it was tremendous, and it really highlights the great work that our staff do here at MHA. Please consider a donation tonight and anytime. Reoccurring donations are always great too. Thank you for supporting this agency so that we can continue to support the people in this community.
Glenn, you can hear me, right? Okay, good. Good. So my daughter makes me watch this David Dobrik stuff. I don't know if any of you know him, but he's a guy that he's a YouTuber, and he sells stuff. So, and he calls it merch. So we have some merch. If anybody wants to buy an MHA mask, we're all about it. They're pretty nice, right? That's $5 if you want that. We got some hats, MHA hats, if you want that. Glenn, I'll send you one. Actually looks pretty good. I can't tell you how sweaty I am right now. It's ridiculous. We also have these shirts. They're fabulous shirts. I'll sell you that for $10 if you want it. I really got to get enough money to fix this air conditioner because it's killing me. How we doing, John? Oh, Glenn's paying. All right, what do you want? 2 hats, Glenn? All right, you're in. All right. What else do we have? See, I didn't prepare any material in case of a failure. I won't call it a failure, although it's seeming like that now, isn't it, John? No, just kidding. We're going to figure this out. This is Glenn's award. Isn't it nice, Glenn? Good. You know what? While we're doing that, I wanted to share with you, I was going to do this at the very end and wrap it up, but I wanted to share with you. See this picture? This is a pretty great story. I put it on our Facebook page. That's a picture of a school, and a teacher told every student in the school to blow up a balloon and write their name on it, and then throw the balloon in the hallway. So then what he did was he blew the balloon around with like probably a leaf blower, blew them all around, shook them all up, and then told everybody to go in and find their balloon with their name on it. And after 5 minutes, no one could find the balloon. So then he said, I want everybody to now go in and grab any balloon that you find and then give it to the person whose name is on it. So within 5 minutes, what happened? Every balloon was found and given to the person with their name on it. So the professor then said to the students, these balloons are like happiness. We will never find it if everyone is looking for their own, but we will, if we care about other people's happiness, we'll find our own too. So that was pretty cool. I like that. I woke up to that, flipped it through the Facebook and saw it. It's pretty amazing. It's great. I'm glad you guys hung in there. Thank you. Sorry for the technical difficulty. I was going to end on that balloon thing, which was really cool. But I want to actually end with an email I just got from Marge Tortorella. Marge has been working at MHA for probably 30 years. She's been running the bipolar support group for that whole time. She sent me this email, so I'm going to read it, and I'm going to change a few things here, I think. Many years ago, a woman came to the Depression Bipolar Support Group. She had 2 children and was pregnant when her husband bought a new house and came to say to her, start packing. She was so upset that after the baby was born, she was hospitalized at our local mental health hospital. She saw a doctor who did not believe in medication for bipolar disorder, so back to the hospital she went over and over. When she came to group, the other persons gave her names of therapists and psychiatrists. Eventually, there was a divorce and the husband wanted full custody, but someone in the group helped her to find a good lawyer. She had been a pharmacist, but no one would hire her. Incidentally, in the 70s, after being in Hudson River Psychiatric Center, no one would hire me as a nurse. This is what Marge said. I found her a job as a cashier and a stock person at a local pharmacy. And eventually they needed a tech in the pharmacy there, and she was hired. Later, she became the main pharmacist there and had not heard from her in about 15 years, but received a call last week thanking me, the group, and MHA for all the help that she received. She has a different, wonderful husband. 2 children are at the University of Buffalo, and one is in New York City in his last year of medical school. She works at a small pharmacy in Millerton. She sees her therapist every 2 weeks and psychiatrist every 2 months. She was so grateful for the time and the little things that we did. I am so humbled and proud of her. The moral is never give up because you do not know what is around the next corner. And that's a lesson for all of us, I think. So that really concludes our night. I wanted to make this fairly short and sweet and roll along. And we appreciate you all looking at the camera and listening in today and learning more about MHA. And to Glenn and all our winners, thank you. Thank you for sitting in through this, Glenn. It was really nice to have you, and we have to have lunch soon, I hope. It was so nice to see all of you, Jackie and Julie and Tammy and Chip and Kathy and Jim and Cecilia. I do this thing at the end of it. I feel like I'm, on what's that show that we used to watch as kids?
The Waltons? Magic Garden.
There you go. All that. Chris Lott, Humphrey, Joyce, Joy, Dave Curry, Jessica.
Magic Garden.
Magic Garden. That's the
I thought it was the Waltons. I thought it was...
well, that was good night. Well, I can
thought it was the Waltons.
Everybody.
Good night, boy.
Good night, Andrew.
Good night.
Good night,
Great
Andrew.
presentation, Andrew.
Yeah, great job.
It was awesome. Bye.
Great.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for the award. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.